homage.
Oh dear, you must sit for this. Please, take a seat anywhere. That's fine. Oh dear, I have something so terrible to tell you. You see,
I have on my terrible face. Yes, oh, very good. Oh, dear Eugenia, my sister. Eugenia, yes?
your cousin, Eugenia, I was feeding my ducks. I left the duck pond. I walked up the cobblestone path, and I went by her cottage. I thought, oh, I should stop in and see her. Well, I went up the path to her door. Her door was slightly ajar. Not ajar, but slightly open, you see. So I knocked. Eugenia, Eugenia. No answer.
Well, that's not like her.
No, indeed, she's so vocal, you know. So I pushed the door open completely. I walked in, I looked about, I couldn't see anything. I saw what I thought was a Turkish carpet on the floor. But no, it was all Eugenia flattened. No, completely flattened.
And she looked like a carpet.
She had all of the patterns of a carpet. I was at once attracted to it as a piece of art and repulsed by it as a cadaver. Oh, dear God!
Oh, darling!
Oh, dear. Is it true?
Oh, yes.
It is true, my love. Eugenia's gone.
Our dear daughter! Did you forget, darling?
I did. In that moment, I thought she was a carpet. I was so focused on that.
She was your own daughter. I'm amazed we got through all these years without you burning her in a fire.
I'm so focused on our son being the heir, I don't care about our daughter as much.
Oh, we must get rid of this carpet here now. I cannot bear to look upon it.
Every carpet in the house reminds me of Eugenia now.
My friends, at that moment, our dear St. Mary Mead's Detective Inspector Craddock was on the case.
Well, hello. It is such a pleasure to be in the presence of the Duke and Duchess.
You must forgive us, Inspector. We are all rather distraught about the death of one of our own family members, our daughter.
Yes.
I was very distraught because, as you know, I revere you all as if you were my heroes, the Duke and the Duchess and the children who I...
Come, Inspector. Surely you have business to attend to rather than flap-jabbering about us.
Really do get to the point. I'm forgetting what she looked like.
And I'm only a lady thrice removed. Really not royalty at all.
Well, I will stop sucking up to you and start to question each and every one of you now. Where were you, sir, when your daughter was found?
Why? Well, let's see. There I was. Oh, I remember exactly. I had gone out to the garage in order to make sure that the cars were properly oiled, and when I arrived there, yes, I remember I overheard a conversation. It was my son Alfred talking to Robert, the mechanic, and they were talking something to do with the car, I don't know, and then I saw Alfred walk out of the garage holding a crowbar.
I
Yes.
see.
A crowbar?
Yes?
I do believe I saw a crowbar laying next to the carpet. I thought, how strange, I thought it was perhaps a piece of elegant jewelry that she'd brought back from some faraway place.
A crowbar?
It was indeed a crowbar, now that I think upon it. Yes.
Are you suggesting that Alfred had something to do with the death of his sister?
No, not our Alfred.
At that moment, Beatrice, what did she know about Alfred that was suspicious? Could you guess? Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts.
Father. Well, I call you father, but really I'm your niece. But I have something to say about my cousin. You see, Alfred had a thing about broccoli.
But at least it wasn't Brussels sprouts. Unless you know something.
But he was confused, you see. They both began with a B. He would always think that one was the other. One looked like a small brain, the other like a small tree, but they both began with the letter B. And you see, it was confusing him and it was driving him crazy. And I believe that this would have driven a man to do something unusual.
Are you saying that because he was confused about the difference between Brussels sprouts and broccoli, he killed his own sister?
I'm only saying what I know.
Why don't you say what you're not saying, which is that you always hated Eugenia?
Oh, really?
You were always jealous of her, weren't you?
Well, why wouldn't I be? She was the one that got to travel. She was the one with the proper title. I was only a lady thrice removed. Of course I was jealous of her.
You look here. This stain that's going to be cast upon the family name, if that gets out, if the police oh, damn it.
Well, I dare say that I'm in a predicament, for you see that you are my lords and ladies, and I'm not even sure I have the power to arrest any of you, but I will tell you that I will find who has killed our darling Eugenia if it's the last thing I do, and in fact, it might very well be the last thing that I do as a detective inspector, for this will be my last case.
Oh dear.
But I dare not trouble you all with that now. Good day.
Mama,
Yes.
I have much news to tell you.
Oh, do.
Please sit. I have done much reading about Ethiopia.
Have you?
Yes.
Excellent.
I have decided that the reason I hate everything about myself is because I feel like a fraud.
You are.
I don't truly feel Ethiopian, and so I have made a big decision.
And what is that?
I am going to leave behind the family legacy and be myself fully, without claiming the Ethiopian heritage any longer. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, then you will give up royalty. You will give up everything that we've ever known.
Well, yes, but see, I have a plan. Okay. So, I will still marry Alfred.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Okay.
it will still be set, Mother, don't
Excellent.
worry.
All right.
But it just feels like something I must do.
Well,
Do I have your support?
no. You do not. Stand up. I'm going to slap you. Oh, I'm sorry. I must do that because as someone who is also not fully Ethiopian, the fact that you would come out and be so independent, it worries me. It worries me, your ideas of political correctness and all of that. It worries me that you'll create some sort of democracy or something horrible. And what really worries me the most is that we will find out that everyone will find out that we're penniless, that we have no money, that the only thing we hold is this title of royalty that means nothing, which is why you must hold on to this, because they won't marry you if you're not royalty.
Oh, Mother, I know that you feel terrible that Father left and took all the money and that we haven't told any of the public about our dire situation. But, Mama, you are still worthy.
I love you.
I love you too.
But no, you must stay. Royalty in Ethiopian is the only thing I have to my name. Please.
Mother, it's something I must do. I am going to go to Alfred's house right away and tell him the news.
If you do that, I don't know what will happen to me.
If you do that, I don't know what will happen to me. My friends, quite the plea. And I am so sorry to report that after those words were spoken, someone in our story was dead.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Shocking. But can you guess who it was?
Oh, no.
My friends, can you guess who was murdered? Alfred.
Wow.
And the poor man's body was discovered like this.
Darling, listen very, very carefully.
Yes.
Alfred was your son. Now that you're fully aware of that, sit down. He's dead!
What? Alfred, my sweet, sweet Alfred, he's what?
All my chicks in one fell swoop.
No. Euphoria and now Alfred? I mean Eugenia and now Alfred?
You really didn't care for her, did you?
Oh, darling.
Oh, but
Tell me what happened.
it was horrifying. I was down by the pond, thinking such a nice day deserves a foot bath. And so I went to the pond, and I took off my boots and my socks, and I wriggled my toes, in preparation of dipping them into the pond, when suddenly Alfred's bloated body bubbled up from the pond. His eyes were as large as grapefruits. His hands were mangled like, I don't know, broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
So you're saying he looked like your mother, Agatha? Awful.
Yeah. And as I reached out a shaking hand to him, he floated away and was used as a resting place for the ducks.
It was at this point that I had entered the story.
Oh, Jane.
Oh, dear Jane.
Duke, Duchess, what a horrible tragedy. 2 children gone.
Jane, you must forgive us calling you and asking you over like this, but as you know, I'm in no position to think clearly when trouble besets me. An old family friend such as yourself surely knows that about my dithering mind.
I do.
And I just, as a mother, I can't take it. My dear Esther and Alfred.
Can I have a moment alone, please?
Oh, yes.
You go lie down.
Jane, I know you don't always like to be used for your incredible crime-solving abilities,
I don't mind.
but if you could help us out.
Of course.
Oh, please. Darling.
My dear,
Oh, Jane, this is just awful.
my dear, I just came from the doctor's office.
Yes.
He's told me that you are not taking your medicine for your forgetfulness.
Well, I haven't been taking it, you're right. It just makes me feel silly, and I need to function. You see, I have a duty, and I'm a duchess, and if George sees me not behaving in the way that a duchess should behave, which that medication makes me just loopy, I can't take it.
Well, that is quite the pickle, but I also know that in cases such as yours, unfortunately and fortunately, there's no diagnosis and name for it, but I know what it is because I've seen it before.
What is it?
Folks in your condition can sometimes forget what they do.
Well, I remember what I do. I know that I gave birth to 2 sons. I've raised them to be
This is more short-term, my darling. I'll come out with it. You might not know if you have done something nefarious to your own children.
No, are you saying I've hurt my darling children?
I'm saying it's possible in your condition.
Oh, Oh dear, but they're just babies. How could that be?
My dear, they're grown. Were grown.
Oh dear. Jane, what are you saying? That I'm ill?
Jane, I'm so confused. It might be rubbing off on me. My dear, what I'm saying is that you need to get your help.
Oh, I shall get right on it. Please don't tell George.
I will not tell a soul, including that detective inspector.
Okay, I shall go take care of myself immediately.
Well, thank you for meeting me here in my office, Jane.
Yes, detective inspector.
Please, take a seat. Please don't trouble your voice, for I have something that I wish to tell you, and it might be a little lengthy, but don't you worry. Well, I am encroaching on my final case as a detective inspector. Well, you see, these past 15 years that I've been solving cases here in the great St. Mary Mead has been such a wonderful part of my life, and most of that is thanks to you. You see, I couldn't have solved many of these cases unless... You're quite right, Jane. Your mind, articulate as ever, has always been a source of great comfort to me, and I always know that I can come to you should I ever have a blockage in a case. But now, I tell you, I mark my final case, and what a great day it is to say that it will be to solve the murder of the daughter and son of the Duke and Duchess. For you see, after that, well, Jane, I found a love in one of my officers. And after this case, well, my dream is for the two of us to travel the world. I will lay down my tie and my notepad, and I'll finally get time to travel. 7 seas and all the continents. And I just want to thank you for all these years that this may be our final case. And I wanted to introduce you to my love.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. I just wanted you to know. Oh.
Officer Withersworth, I believe.
Yes. I'm so honored to meet you, Miss Marple. I've heard so much about you.
Oh, well, come forward, my dear. Don't be shy.
Well,
You're practically a daughter-in-law for me.
Oh,
I see him like a son.
oh my God. That's beyond my greatest dreams. Thank you. I believe I have a book here that I found at the estate, and it's about the history of Ethiopia and their customs, and there's markers on the murder chapters. I don't know who might have done it, but I understand from the checkout that it's the daughter.
Cassandra, my love, you shouldn't even be working this case. Why, you should be packing your bags, for we will be off into the... Well, first, we shall go to Egypt. We shall ride camels.
Beyond my wildest dreams. You accepting me and you taking me to Egypt. Oh, my Lord, this is the best. The absolute best.
George, thank you so much for meeting me at the coffee shop. As you know, we Ethiopians do not drink tea. We only drink coffee. Now,
Strange name of this coffee shop, Starbucks.
yes, very strange.
I doubt it will ever catch on.
First, my deepest condolences to you and your family.
For a moment, the aroma of good coffee left my mind clear of woe. Yes.
We had an agreement, and I cannot let that agreement go. I know you only have one thrice remaining daughter.
I don't understand. My son is dead. Surely you can't expect me to abide by a contract of marriage between your daughter and my son if my son is dead.
You're right, but I can ask you to abide by the contract that our families will join. And the only way that can happen now is with your daughter and my daughter. It must happen. It is the only way.
What the hell are you talking about?
What I am talking about is something something beyond my time. I am talking about the fact that you need our royalty. I know very clearly your background. I know for sure that you are also in quite a challenging predicament.
Our dear friend was under a false assumption that Beatrice was his daughter. However, she was a cousin to the deceased.
Do you understand now?
It does not change anything.
Sure it does. If it was my own daughter, I'd be happy to sell her off into marriage to yours. But she's not my daughter. She's my sister's. Oh, I don't know who the hell she is. But the bottom line is, she is not going to marry your daughter. The contract between us is null and void.
Null and void?
Null and void.
You listen to me. We do not take breaking of contracts lightly. And whether she is a cousin, a servant, or anything else in your humble household, there will be a marriage.
And I say there will not. And if you ever dare to darken my estate again,
Then what?
then there shall be trouble.
Then there shall be trouble. Oh, you're catching on. You're thinking there's another murder.
Yes.
Not yet. Oh, my dear friends, look at the time. Why don't we all take a nice little break?